Hello everybody, this is Anna Chaos here, and today I'm going to bring you another flashback. Not a very old flashback, but a flashback. And that is Disney Infinity figures. Now, I remember in the end days of Toys R Us that were like selling these by like, I don't know, like literally for like several dollars a pieces. So I picked this up because I like Randall. I don't know why, I've always liked Randall. He reminds me a lot of the actor. But a lot of his character, just, I don't know, resonated with me for some reason. What does that say about me? But anyway, so I liked it. I picked it up. It was a couple bucks, even though it says right here, it says like $13.99. I know I did not pay that much for it. So let's go ahead and talk about the Disney Infinity. So let's go ahead and talk about Disney Infinity. Now, I remember that when Disney Infinity came out, I was like in my 30s. But I remember it was really popular with the kids. And it came out like around like 2013, and I believe the last series was ended, right here, closed down in 2016. So it only lasted a couple years, but it was huge. Now, they had series 1, 2, and 3, and at the time they had like these little figurines. They had chips at the bottom, and you would put them at the deck, and that's how your character was imported into the game console. So right here you can see there was PlayStation 3, 4, and later on PlayStation Vita. I feel old now. PlayStation Vita, back in the day. And they had like a series depending on what series you were on. So they had Planets of the Caribbean, Monster University, The Incredibles, Cars. They had a couple different ones. And then towards the end, they started getting into Marvel. It is right here where they kind of stopped. Now, I did find a webpage that has most of the characters in here. You can see by version what was released. Unfortunately, they seem to have stopped right where the 3.0 started, which pretty much goes back to right here where you have the Star Wars, Inside Out, Finding Dory, and Marvel. So if you want to find the full list, this is a pretty good one right here. However, right here they have Frozen. They only had Olaf. They didn't seem to have any other characters. But what's really neat about this is that it tells you from where these characters come from. So if you see like Aladdin, it comes from Disney. If you see Guardians, it comes from Marvel. So they pretty much break this down as best as they can, and it's actually not a bad list. All right, so let's take a closer look at this figure. So technically, what you were buying at the time, you were practically buying a microchip, which was right there at the base of the figure, and it will have a deck that you put it on, and it will import the figure into the game. So the figurine was just there for aesthetics. Mostly what you were buying was the chip, the access chip to it. And what ended up happening is with these figures, once people figure out that there was a chip at the base, I remember there was a big issue where like people were selling binders full of these counterfeit chips for a fraction of what they were selling these, and there was like a whole market for it. I don't even know, eventually they ended up cracking down on it because Disney's pretty good about that, but I remember it was a thing for a while. But anyway, so in the end, I said the figures for these were really well made. I liked them. I kept Randall all these years. He's unfortunately going to go to my sell pile because, again, I'm trying to downsize my stuff, so I don't need him anymore. But, it was kind of like a really cool momentum, and I kind of wanted to just kind of talk about him before I let him go. And you can see right here in the background, there's the Disney Infinity, the power-ups, there's Randall, and then right here you can see the different characters that were in that series right there. Once in a blue moon, I stumble upon these when I'm at the flea market. If you look at like the hat, for whatever reason, people mistake them for like Happy Meal toys. So if you like see a bucket of Happy Meal toys, dig for Infinity figures because I have found them there before. If the person have no idea what they're looking at, they're just going to toss it in there. The person knows what they're at, like the gaming stores, they will pull them off to the side. But you can still find them for like a couple bucks here and there. Now, these used to come sometimes in single sets. I used to see them in sets of 2s. And a couple of them, I used to see them in like sets of like, I believe like 3 or 4. Those were like the deluxe sets. And then I think there were a couple exclusive to like the theme parks or the Disney store. So yeah, they had quite a bit of a selection for these figures. But all in all, if Disney is your jam and you kind of want figurines that won't break the bank, it's not bad. It really is not bad. Like I said, you can find these for a couple bucks here and there. If you try to go to eBay, people are going to try to sell it to you for a fortune, so keep that in mind. But if you just keep digging around, you'll find them here and there. And I mean, they're fun. That's why I picked it up, because I like how sleazy he looks, and it's just very reminiscent of the character's personality from the movies, and the series. So I thought this was fantastic. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for you guys today for Living with a Toy Collector. I hope you enjoyed this really short shenanigans video. Please like and subscribe if you like this content. Like I said, I'll continue digging through my time machine of a collection and continue to document these as I continue to either store away or downsize my collection. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.